What's going on, family? Samuel Genus here with Predict Your Business, where I help entrepreneurs just like you wear less hats and grow their business in a more predictable way. I'm coming to you from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, here at the famous Los Olas Boulevard. And in this video, I want to talk to you about directing your children to financial success. Directing your children to financial success. All right, let's get to this. All right, so I hear many people tell business owners to not force their children to work in their business. They're always like cautioning them and warning them, like, hey, you don't want to push your business on your children. You don't want to, you don't want to really get them involved. You want them to do their thing. You want them to pursue their passion, and you shouldn't. They're like, your business is your vision, it's your baby, and it's your passion, and you shouldn't you shouldn't push that on them. I understand what they're saying, but I don't think I particularly agree. I agree to a certain degree. It's like I agree and disagree. Let me start off by saying this. If you look at the average American is not living the life of their dreams. Now I'm gonna repeat that. The average American is not, hear me clearly, they are not living the life of their dreams, right? That includes your children, right? That includes your children, Don't think your children are exempt from that statistic. The majority, your children make up the majority of American citizens, and they are not living the life of their dreams. If you don't believe me, I encourage you to meet up with your children who's 25, 30 years old, 40 years old, 45 years old, and sit down and ask them, like, hey, are you comfortable? Are you really comfortable with the life that you're living? Is this really the life that you wanted for yourself? Ask them, when you was 18 years old, when you was 17 years old, when you was 15 years old, did you see yourself driving the car that you currently have, right? Like, let's say you have a child who's 40 years old. Ask them, hey, when you was 15, did you envision yourself driving the car you have at 40? Were you like, hey, at 40 years old, I'm gonna be riding this Camry? Ask them, when you was 15 years old, did you envision that you will be working at this job at 41 years old and only making $18 an hour? Did you envision that for yourself? Ask them, did you envision when you was like, 13 or 17 or just finishing high school or just finishing college, did you envision yourself that you will be 45 years old and only making, $50,000 a year? Ask them that. Ask them, did you envision that you would be living in the house that you currently live in? Ask them, are they satisfied with the life that they are living? Are they really satisfied with the life that they are living? Ask them, are you satisfied with the spouse you married? You may have to ask them that in private. Okay, they're having some fun right there. Ask them, are you really happy? Because the last time I checked, most people buy the car they didn't really want. They settle. They settle for the car they don't really want. They settle for the house they don't really want. They settle for the spouse they don't really want. They settle for a career that they don't really want, They're not living the life of their dreams. They're living a life of settling and compromise. A lot of people are not living the life that they envision. They're settling. A lot of people are settling. They're not living the life that they really envision. I mean, it's a reality. They're not living the life that they envision. They're compromising, they're settling, and to be honest, some of them are actually miserable, right? That's why they're getting a divorce. That's why they're staying up late and listening to these multi-level marketing commercials. That's the reason why, they're looking for these get-rich-quick schemes. They're trying different things. It's because they're not satisfied. But here's the thing, they're not going to tell you that when they're 15, right? This guy, look at him. Go. People always got a showboat. I ain't mad at you though, man. Here comes car number 2. We got a showboat. Most people, they're compromising. They're making, they're settling. They're getting divorced. They're not happy. They're becoming alcoholics. They're having depression and suicidal thoughts and stuff like that because they're not happy. Now, here's the thing. It's linked to who they were when they was 15, 16, and 17. See, most 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds, they actually think they know it all. I'm just being honest with you. You know, my kids, even some of them, my son just turned 19 and my daughter turned 18, and they go through this stage where they think they know more than you. They go through this stage where they think they really know what's best for them. They really know what's best for them. And when you're trying to talk to them about your business, when you're trying to talk to them about the vision that you have for the family, a lot of times they're not paying attention. Why? Because they're focused on their passion. But what they fail to understand is that your vision for the family is linked to the success of their passion. And that's the thing they don't fully understand. And that's the cross you have to bear as a parent. That's the cross you have to bear. You have to learn how to communicate in such a way that they can connect the dots. Because the adults that are like 35 years old and 40 years old, those adults were at one point was 15 and they thought they knew what they wanted to do, and they realized that their idea was wrong. It took them years to realize that. It took them years to realize that although they wanted to do A, that by the time they turn 40, they won't achieve it. And one of the reasons they didn't achieve it is because they had the wrong approach, they had the wrong strategy, they had pride issues, they had mental roadblocks, they weren't able to connect the dots, you know, and know which steps to take. You know what I mean? They didn't surround themselves with the right people. They didn't make the right connections. They didn't have enough capital. And so they find themselves chasing things and never achieving them. And that leads to frustration, depression, all kinds of emotional trauma, right? So understand this, like, and I'm gonna use myself as an example. I constantly talk to my children about my business, YouShare 360, and I don't always say my business, about the family business, the family empire. I always inform them that we are building a family empire, right? And if you're building a family empire, you can't just be focused on your personal ideas. You know, it's okay to have personal passion. It's okay to have personal ideas. It's okay to have hobbies that you're interested in, right? But that's not the way you build a community. You don't build a community only chasing your passion. You don't build a community only chasing your dreams. That's not the way you build a community. You build a community by building what's necessary for the community to be healthy so that people can pursue their individual things. You see what I'm saying? A lot of you are part of families that don't even have a net worth of $10,000. You're part of a family that don't even have a net worth of $50,000, but yet you have passions and dreams that are so big, but you don't have the capital to get going. And so I always let my children know, this family business is part of a stepping stone. Like doing this is a stepping stone so that we can achieve our individual hobbies, our individual passions, so that we can really achieve millionaire status, and not just millionaire status as a family, but millionaire status as an individual. You see? And when you have money, you're able to accomplish your passion. Because let's be honest, most people's passion, their passion is attached to a certain income. They're like, you know, hey, I want to do this for a living, I want to do that for a living. But unfortunately, your passion doesn't always come with a good paycheck, right? Your passion may be to help people. And how many people are getting paid lovely to help people, right? So their passion, just because you have a passion, doesn't mean you're going to be able to pay your rent. Just because you have passion doesn't mean you're going to be able to pay your mortgage. Just because you have passion doesn't mean you're going to be able to buy the car that you want, because some passions, they don't bring in good profits, right? You know what I mean? And other passions do. People will say, pursue your passion and live the life, you know, pursue your passion and you'll have the wealth you really want. That's not true. That's not true. You may be concerned about children, and you may want to help children, doesn't mean you're going to be making $300,000 a year. It does mean that you will have a certain level of fulfillment when it comes to helping those children, but it doesn't mean you're going to be financially comfortable. It doesn't mean that, right? You might struggle financially, you might struggle emotionally, you might struggle with bills, but yet you're still doing something good on the planet, right? So, but I want my children to achieve wealth, but I also want them to achieve their passion. It's like a win-win situation. So for me, is I try to encourage them to work with the family business. I show them the benefits of the family business. I show them the potential income this family business will bring. I show them how much they will get from the family business. And then I also show them how their portion from the family business, how that will help fund whatever they want to do, or at least get them started. And I try to connect the dots that way. I let them know that this family business is a stepping stone. It doesn't mean that this is all they have to do in life, but they have to participate in helping to get the business off the ground, helping to take it to the next level so that they can achieve the income. Because let's be honest, the passions your children have, most of them, their passion is not going to give them wealth. I'm just being honest with you. How do I know? Because the statistics say so. Just look around you. The statistics speak for themselves. The average American is not living financially comfortable. The middle class is getting smaller. The middle class is struggling. So I don't get it twisted, and I don't want you to get it twisted. I don't want you to be naive and drink the Kool-Aid that when your kids are talking to you about what they want to do, what they want to be, and all that great stuff, understand that many of them are going to turn 40 years old and will not be satisfied, right? Even if they achieve their vision, a lot of them still won't be satisfied. Why? Because their vision wasn't big enough. And when they get it, right, when they finally achieve their passion, they're gonna realize and be like, wait a minute, I still got money issues. Wait a minute, this is not the house I really want. Wait a minute, this is not the car I really want. I wanted a job like this. And that's when they're gonna realize, yeah, but that job is not paying enough money. That career you chose is not paying enough money. So that passion, that thing that they were so passionate about, they're gonna realize one day that, wow, it wasn't big enough. I still got things I need to overcome, right? And this is why you need to ensure that the vision and the plans and the ideas that you and your spouse and your children have is big enough for everybody to win. And that's my thing. I sit my children down and I talk to them, hey, what is it that you're trying to accomplish? What is it that you would like to be? And then I connect the dots and show them how that's possible with UShare 360. How the business that I'm building is going to help position them to go on the vacations they want to go on, to pursue other things in life that they want to pursue the hobbies that they want to pursue without financially struggling. You see? That's how I try to get them involved, and I try to share with them and stuff like that to get them involved, because I already know that my vision for them is bigger than their vision for themselves. Now, how could I say that? Because I'm the visionary of the family. And perhaps you may not be the visionary of your family, and that's the reason why you leave everybody to their own choices, right? You leave them to their own choices. But look around you. Our community is the way it is because we have leaders in the community. We have leaders in our community, and the leaders are the ones who actually make this community the way it is. It's not the average person, because the average person is not building the bridges. The average person is not thinking about the health of the community. They're thinking about their health. They're not thinking about the health of the community, of the nation. You see what I'm saying? That's why we have to really pay attention to leaders. You see what I'm saying? Because leaders are thinking about the health of the group. They're thinking about the health of the group. And that's what you have to do. As a leader of your household, you have, as the CEO of your company, as the CEO of your family, as the leader of your kingdom, your tribe, you have to make sure that the decisions and the passions and the goals and the aspirations that your spouse has, even your children have, that it's in line with the overall vision for the family so that everybody can win. Hear me when I tell you, most of the decisions your children make is not going to be good enough. Of course they're not going to tell you that because they know it all. They're 15 years old and they know it all. They done read a article or they done heard one of their friends say something and they think they know it all. And so when you try to talk to them about your business, like they kind of shut down. They're like, no, Dad, I want to play basketball. No, Dad, I want to play football. No, Dad, I want to sell carpets. No, Dad, I want to do this. I want to do A, B, or C, or X, Y, or Z, right? But they don't realize that their vision is not good enough. They don't realize that their vision is not big enough. And a lot of times they're not going to recognize it until they turn around, until they turn like 25, 30 years old, 35 years old, they have a family, and they're going to realize that, wow, what I thought life would be, it's not that. And now they're going to be looking for plan B or plan C. But had they had the right direction, right? Had someone sat them down and said, wait a second, your plan is too small. Wait a second, your idea is too limited. Wait a second, that career path you chose, it's not going to really help you in the long run. You know, that passion you have, yes, the passion is good, the hobby is good, but it's not going to be enough to live the life that you really want to have, right? And that's the conversation I have with my children, and I let them know, this is your place in the business. This is your place in the business. Right? And you need to play your position so that the business grows, right? Play your position so that the business grows and it expands so that you're able to have additional wealth. And then you can even bring in other people who can play that role, and your children can just play the role of the board of trustees, or they can just play the role of, you know, the owners of the company, while someone else, you know, plays the role of CEO and stuff like that. And I talk about that in another video, right? But they have to be concerned about the success of the family business. They have to. It's really, for me, it's not up for debate. I'm just being real with you. For me, it's not up for debate. To me, being a part of the family business is no different than back in the days when people were farming. It wasn't a question whether or not, the kids didn't have a choice. Do you want to work on the family farm? No, the family farm is about our livelihood. It is about the overall success of our family. It's what's helping us eat every day, all right? And the families who work together are the families who grow their farm, who grow their acreage and stuff like that, and they can expand. See, that's how I look at the family business. The family business is the livelihood. The family business is the lifeline. And the better you work on your family business, the more successful it becomes, the easier it becomes for each member of the family to pursue their separate hobbies and pursue their separate passions successfully. That's the point I want to make. Successfully, right? You don't want to just pursue passions and pursue dreams and visions and not be successful at it, right? And then still struggle financially. So that's what I'm really getting at, is like, I don't want my children to struggle. I don't want them to chase something that's not going to help them really live the life that they want to live. So I'm like, no, you got to help with this business. This is what you need to learn. Pick up a book, come to the training, play your position, because when you play your position, this is the amount of money the company's going to make, and this is going to be your portion, and the portion that you get from this business is going to be bigger than any paycheck somebody could pay you, you know, and you're going to thank me for it later, you know. And when you have all that money in your hand and in your bank account, and you decide you want to open up a nonprofit organization, or you decide you want to have a particular hobby, or you want to pursue a passion, you're going to be able to do those things with excellence. You see, that's what I'm looking at. Hear me when I tell you again, and I'm gonna close. Hear me when I tell you, the average kid don't know what they're talking about. They, you know, the average, and I'm not saying they all are wrong, but they're naive. They don't fully understand they don't fully see the bigger picture. You know, they are driven oftentimes by emotionalism. They're driven oftentimes by what their friends say. They're driven by certain things they may see on TV, but they're not really driven by data. Sound data. They're not really driven by sound counsel. They're not really driven by, strategic conversations. They're not really driven by that. And so as a parent, you have to make sure that you help them work through that you even come up with the proper responses when they tell you no. And they're like, Dad, no, I don't want to be a part of that business. Dad, that's not my passion. Mom, that's not my passion. That's your passion. It's not my passion. And be like, hey, this is not about passion. Like, this is not about passion. This is about survival, right? You ain't working on a farm because you're passionate about cows. You're working on a farm because you're passionate about success. You're passionate about eating every day. You're passionate about survival. You're passionate about making sure you got food on the table every single day, that there's food in the cupboard, that there's food in the barn, right? That there's food that if you want to be a help to your friends and a help to your neighbors, you can do that because you have enough food, right? That's no different. We just moved from an agrarian society to another society where we're where it's technology, it's business, it's online stuff, it's stuff like that. And so we're trying to build. We're trying to build. The average person who works at a job, they're not even happy about that job. They're not even making the money they really want to make. So, you got to work through all of that. Let them know this is not just passion speaking, right? This is a vision. This is a goal. This is about financial freedom, right? This is not just about, me wanting to build a website or me wanting to open up a restaurant. No, this is about financial freedom, different. Most people don't get a job for financial freedom. They get a job just so that they can survive. We're talking about financial freedom. We're talking about time, freedom of time. You see what I'm saying? Having the things you really need to live the life that you really dream about. And that's going to require teamwork. It's going to require a family vision. It's going to require working together. It's going to require, compromises. It's going to require thinking about the win-win situation. It's going to require putting your hobbies on hold so that you can build something that will last. It's about even putting some of your passions on hold so that you can build a foundation, a legacy that will last even when your passion for that thing runs out and you're no longer passionate about that and now you want to do something else. I'm talking about financial freedom. I'm talking about family wealth. I'm talking about generational wealth. Has nothing to do with just some basic passion about, I want to work on bikes, or I want to do poetry. It's not based on that kind of passion. It's based on the passion of financial freedom, family success, generational wealth, and those kind of things, all right? So keep that in mind. I know this was a long video, but I don't care. I wanted to get all this information out. I think the information that I'm sharing is vital. And if you have children and you have a family business, I'm certain that one day you're going to come into this, you're going to have this conversation with them, and and this video is going to help you in that conversation, all right? So this is Samuel Genius with Predict Your Business. I know I said something that was good. I just hope I hope you understood it, and that you'll be able to take it to heart and apply it to your family success, all right? This is Samuel Genius with Predict Your Business. I will see you in the next video. Take care.